Thank you, Hillary. And thank you for the beautiful music, and to all the organizers and leaders and community partners who've helped create this opportunity for awareness and remembrance. I'm here tonight with my parents, Linda and George, and on behalf of my sisters, Colleen and Lauren, to remember our brother, Jonathan. Loved deeply and missed dearly by our whole family and his many friends. Lost too soon to a long struggle with heroin and alcoholism. John died 2.5 years ago at the age of 35, though he stays in our hearts and on our minds always. Whether you're here tonight to remember a lost loved one or because someone you love continues to struggle, whether you're here as part of your own recovery or your desire to support others in theirs, please look around this auditorium and see that you are not alone. Remember that, especially in those moments of nagging sadness, worry, or doubt. We are all here to bear witness to what one another has endured and to affirm the humanity of all affected by addiction. I know that everyone we're here to remember was a whole human being who was loved dearly and will not be forgotten. They were all people with unique stories and difficult journeys, with dreams they didn't get to fulfill. People whose memories motivate us to find healing and hope for others. It's an honor to share some of my brother's story with you now, to remember that he, like your loved ones, was more than what killed him. John was a deep thinker with a big heart and a sensitive soul. He was an artist of many talents, a creative chef and a handyman, always eager to help others. He loved the ocean, animals, and giving gifts. He followed his own path, which sometimes led him to trouble, but he always stood strong in his beliefs. We miss him so much, and it still feels impossible to believe we'll never see him again. It also feels especially meaningful to connect with his spirit here tonight because this campus, where we're all gathered, contains so many cherished memories for my brother and our family. When we were growing up in Brockton, our mom taught here at Massasoit, and looking back, I see that some of John's proudest and happiest moments happened right here. Experiences that give you a glimpse into the fullness of who he was. And I invite you to think about the places where the spirit and memories of your loved ones live too. As a toddler, John attended preschool right here in this building down the hall at the Massasoit Children's Center, as did all of us Kelly kids. Back then, he was an affectionate, imaginative, adorable little guy who left such an impression on his preschool teachers that decades later, after he died, we were moved to see them at his wake. They came to let us know they'd always remember the sweet, sensitive little boy he was. When John was older, he learned to scuba dive right here at the campus pool. He had a lifelong love of anything that brought him to the water, whether beaches, boats, or pools, and his tenacity as a young diver was a testament to his sense of adventure. Soon after, John, like all of us Kelly kids, joined the Primetime Players, a youth theater group that performed on this very stage. He was cast in several plays and often helped out behind the scenes, but his spotlight performance was starring as Sherlock Holmes, where his wit and creativity shined brightly, winning him many fans and some lifelong friends. John's success in theater soon led him to many musical performances as a teen, forming rock bands with his friends, always sharing his love of playing, writing, and listening to music. In high school, he joined the track and field team at Spelman, which practiced here on campus. He threw the discus and javelin, never afraid to try something new. And as a young adult, he attended community college here, honing his technical and vocational skills and developing his interests in literature, philosophy, and art. And then, just 3 years ago, on a late August night like this, John stood here on this campus at the annual Overdose Awareness Vigil, just like all of us are right now. He was working hard on his recovery at the time and came to the vigil to support others whose struggles he knew all too well. Unfortunately, as many of you also know, the grip of addiction can be unrelenting, and needed services are often elusive. After setbacks and barriers to treatment, John relapsed, overdosed, and after a harrowing hospitalization, he died of liver failure. He passed away encircled in love. Our whole family gathered with him, as we had been for weeks at his bedside. And ever since, our family has come back to this vigil and others. And I wish so much that John could be with us here too, lighting a candle, checking out the resources, bumping into an old friend, or offering a word of encouragement. Instead, we'll see his face, like so many of your loved ones illuminated in the tribute. And I'll have to trust that he and all who we hold in our hearts forever is still here with us somehow. When John came to this vigil with my dad, he voiced his empathy for others who've also experienced problems with substance use, and his own sadness for others who'd lost their lives. He was deeply troubled by the impact addiction had on him and our family, by the pain faced by others and their families. He often urged others to get whatever help they needed. Unfortunately, he was so ashamed of the stigma of addiction that it often stopped him from getting the help he needed, despite how desperate we were to help him find it. For too long, and until it was too late, he believed it was a struggle to face alone. But we are not alone. Though it is heartache that brings many of us here tonight, it's also love that gathers us. Jamie Anderson says that grief is all the love you want to give but cannot. All that unspent love gathers in the corner of your eyes, in the lump of your throat, in the hollow of your chest. Grief is just love with no place left to go. So let's fill this space and all hurting places in our lives and communities with abundant love for those we are here to remember. May we fill it with compassion for those whose names and stories we may never know, whose paths we never cross, whose photos may not be shown, but whose humanity is also undeniable. Let us not forget the long histories of injustice that for many decades treated people suffering with addiction as though their lives did not matter. And let us remember that many families have not only lost loved ones to overdose, but also to drug-related violence, suicide, illnesses, injury, incarceration, and inequity. And that families and communities divided by addiction is also a painful form of loss. So let us open our hearts to all who've been impacted, and remember to love ourselves too. Whether we're healing from grief or addiction or both, may we be gentle and forgiving, finding peace and comfort where we can, offering kindness and acceptance to ourselves and to those around us. We cannot evade the pain, and we may never find a satisfying answer to our if-onlys and our what-ifs. But we can find strength by standing side by side, building this community of empathy and courage, being unafraid to speak out, to defy the silence of stigma, and to create lasting change together. We know the change is desperately needed as the harm of overdose continues to claim many lives, with the annual death toll continuing to rise. When John attended this vigil, he saw a lot of familiar faces in the slideshow. When my sisters and I have come in his memory, we too have seen the names and faces of too many kids we've grown up with as well. And more are added each year. We'll never stop remembering those we've lost, but we must also work towards a future in which there are no more names to read and new candles to light each year. There are already so many great community programs that are changing and saving lives, like those represented here tonight. They need our support, and we need more of them. With more understanding of, access to, and resources to sustain pathways towards recovery, many of these deaths can be prevented, and others can be spared this grief. Together, we can widen our circles of compassion and address root causes of addiction. Together, we can share solutions and offer hope. I have to believe we can find the collective power to do this, in memory of those we've lost, in honor of all who continue to take steps forward in recovery, and in gratitude with all who help along the way. We are truly all in this together, and with our loved ones alive in our hearts, we are never, ever alone.